God warns the enemy is stealing your miracle. Don't skip a single word of this or you'll miss what's hidden and how to claim what's truly yours. Listen up, chosen one. Not because you have a lot of time, but because what I'm about to say will never come up again. Today, God is doing something that has never been seen before in any generation and isn't even mentioned in any of the old books. You were taught to respect, and the one unique never-to-beat repeated reason is that your life has brought together patience, deep longing, and loyalty that can't be seen. He's been looking for someone whose kind heart has been there for him through good times and bad. Many people didn't make it through the wait. You did though. You squished but didn't break. You looked for a long time and asked tough questions. It doesn't matter if you're perfect or sure all the time. He chose the person who almost quit last week. He is holding a door that has never been opened with a key. The impossible is not here to scare you. You are the key. It comes in the perfect size. Cut for your journey and no one else's. Come on, stay with me. There's more to this room and this moment than meets the eye. He stepped in. Right now, nothing is being said to force you to do anything. Instead, it's to help you see what is already true. You will understand why this time in your life is different from all the others you have had by the end of this. It's only 7 words long, and it will help you hold on to what's growing inside you for 21 days. And there will be a moment of peace that makes you sure of what God is doing in your life. Do not leave until the very end. When dawn comes, it doesn't yell. Before anyone even notices, it starts as the darkness gets a little less. That's what's going on inside you right now. The darkness didn't go away with a bang. It's been slowly going away for longer than you thought. People didn't notice all those years. Prayers that seemed to vanish, or the nights you cried so softly that people nearby couldn't hear you. He saw everything. Not just how you saw it, but how it really was. You've been carrying a unique burden. Not just any wound that fits the way the world usually thinks about them. Because no one else could name it, you began to wonder if you were making it up. That's not true. It was hidden from everyone around you because the right eyes hadn't been given out yet until now. It's a certain kind of loneliness to carry something that doesn't have a name. You can't even talk about it, which makes it worse than normal loneliness. You cannot say what is missing. You know that something has been missing for a long time and that happiness, love or rest have never been able to fill it. This is the end of it. Today something that hasn't had a name gets one. Being with me for the next hour is a choice, not just mindless scrolling. Because what's coming up in a few minutes deserves a name. Before we end, you'll have learned 3 important things that will help you understand why this time is different from all the others you've lived through. You will hear an old Hebrew word that English translations don't quite get right. It will change the way you think about every year you thought was just a delay. There are also 2 people from old stories whose lives were quietly written down so that you would find them one day. You will be given a short practice of 7 words that you will do for 21 days. This will be the beginning of a new part of your life. Just one last quiet moment that I'd like you to share with me. There is no hurry with any of this. This is not a small thing. Stay until the very end. Those who leave early won't fully understand this unique time. What you're growing has already begun to show itself. There are quiet signs that you may have seen but not been able to describe. Now listen for them. The first sign is that your feelings have been coming up on their own. While you're doing something normal, like doing the dishes or driving home, you'll feel something that you can't explain. Sometimes you feel calm, sometimes sad, and sometimes you're so sure of something that you almost speak out loud. This isn't just a change in mood. Brings up what was buried so it can be let go of. This is your spirit. Another sign is that places where you used to feel good now hurt you. Conversations that used to get you excited now make you tired in minutes. The places you used to feel like you belong to now feel like old clothes that don't fit. You haven't become tough. Your body knows before your mind does that something about you has grown too big for this small space you were in. You thought this meant you're tough to please. He has been calling it getting ready. Also, everything you do has a quiet energy to it. You need to write, make, or say something. It's already pushing its way up. Like a living seed in the ground getting ready to sprout this season. You can't give it a name yet. This isn't stress. This is your life's purpose calling to you from the inside. You've also been seeing things ahead of time. After hours, someone calls you because you remember their name. When you walk into a room, you can tell something is wrong. Even before anyone speaks, the email comes 3 days after you think someone is going to make a decision about you. Lots of strange things are happening at the same time. This is a gift you pushed down as a child that is now waking up for you because you need it. And the time how the right person shows up just when you need them. And how a door opens when you stop trying to push it open. You're not making this up. Your life is changing in every way. And the newness is there on purpose. Let's take a short break now. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel, your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose. Join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. I'd like to point out something easy. You've been listening for a while now and your attention hasn't wandered. That's very important. It's loud out there. Your time is valuable. You're still here, which means that something special is surely going on between us. Take one slow breath. There are no special steps or techniques for this breath. Just be aware that you are here and that you chose to stay. What's coming next is said because of who you are, not in spite of it. Right now, 3 new things are coming together in you that have never happened before. 3 levels of truth are about to appear, one on top of the other until you reach the bottom level. The first is what I'm going to talk about next. It's the smallest, but it will change the way you've been thinking about your life right away. That which you call delay, he is known as exactness. Pay attention to that again. He calls what you call delay exactness. You didn't waste the years you thought you did. Things were being changed. The closed doors were not a punishment. They helped guide me, and they were so accurate that no human plan could have done it. Relationships that didn't work out weren't failures. Neither of them fit the thing you were about to carry. And if you had worn any of them for too long, this moment would not have happened. A long time ago, Hannah was a woman whose only pain was not being able to have children. The priest thought she was drunk because she was crying so hard in the temple. She wasn't married, didn't have any children, and didn't have an answer to the question that every other woman around her had already been given. And while she was crying all those years, she didn't know that the child she would have wasn't just a child. A prophet spoke out and changed the whole country. The wait wasn't a refusal. The time she had to wait was used to keep her gentle spirit in check so that the things she finally carried wouldn't be ruined by anger. Not just a story, but also the way things are set up makes you like her. Your life moving slowly isn't a sign of failure. It takes that long for something so unique to be shaped just right. When you asked for something 5 or 10 years ago, you would have gotten it as a different person who wasn't ready to handle it yet. The only person who is ready for what's coming is the one who has bowed but not broken. Asked questions but not been shut down. Put things off but not given up. You should not fear being slow. Being slow is the training, but this is only the top. The truth I just told you is the first of 3 small ones. What's deeper will make you think about your life in a whole new way. What's deeper has a name that is older than English. You won't be able to talk about your past the same way after hearing that name. The first truth isn't as new as the words we use to describe it. Your name has been heard since the dawn by a name that is deeper than sunrise. What you just heard about delay being exactness is true. But it's not the most important thing going on in your mind. The second truth starts to explain why this time in your life feels different from anything else you've ever felt. The first insight explains why being slow wasn't a sign of betrayal. The second insight tells you what the slowness was getting you ready for. It wasn't planning to make things better. That's where most teachers go wrong because they're still thinking about upgrades. People talk about the next better healed breakthrough version of you. As if God were just making you look better than you already were. He is not shining. He's not getting better. He isn't cleaning up. This is something that no one can explain in English. There is an old Hebrew word for it that is older than all the other words that were taken from it. You won't be able to forget how it changes everything you thought you knew about who you were becoming. What's being built in you in these years of being alone needs to be seen first. The word will come when it's all set. There are 3 things that have grown in you that you and no one else could see at the time. Making sure your gentle spirit was safe was the first thing that came together. As things got worse around you, people you trusted let you down and systems stopped working. Something inside you was being kept from getting worse, just like what was happening to you. It might have made them feel weak. It could have made them feel naive or too soft for the harsh world. Don't think that way. It wasn't being weak. Keep it whole at all costs because it was the only thing that could make your life's work possible. The part of you that lived that was trusting wasn't a flaw. That's what made you qualified. Being able to tell things apart in silence was the second thing that grew. It wasn't abandonment when you really couldn't hear God and wondered if He was even talking to you. That's when you learn to tell the difference between God's voice and the voices of fear, the crowd, and your own wants. It could have been called a dry spell. It could have been called a dark night. Do not think that God has left you. He taught you how to spot Him even when there were no obvious signs. So when He finally says something that has never been said before, you will know it's Him and not just your hopes filling in the blanks. Getting more precise was the third thing that was made. Not patience. That word doesn't fit what was going on inside you. Being exact, it means being able to wait without rushing, without forcing, and without giving your own answer just to stop the pain. This could have made you feel stuck, like you couldn't move. Don't think that way. Waiting taught me how to trust, and there's no other way to learn that kind of trust. That's the word is 6 and 12 says that God says something to people who thought their best days were over. If you pay attention, He says, look, I'm doing something new. It's now showing up. Do you not see it? Not the word you think that means new. In that sentence, the word new has been used too much in English. It can mean brand new or more recent. It can mean straight out of the box. The newest model is one way to use it. These don't really show what the Hebrew text means. Hashem's word for this is chadash, which doesn't just mean new. It means it has never been there before. It means straight from the source. It refers to something that can't be compared to anything else because it was made by something else. When something new comes along that doesn't fit into old groups, this word is used. Listen to how that changes the sentence. He's not telling her, I'm giving you something better than what you had. What I'm doing now has never been done before. He says it's not better. It's something totally new. That's the truth below the first one. Chadash is what is being made in you. That person is not better than they used to be. You can't even explain it in your past life. And people who only know you from your past won't see it at first. They need some time. You are the first life that this thing is coming through. So, it doesn't follow a pattern. A long time after Hannah, an angel showed up at the door of a young woman named Mary in another small town. Mary was not important or wealthy, and there was no clear reason why she should have been chosen. His words meant that she would carry something that no woman had ever carried before in the history of the world. What's amazing about Mary is how she got the job. It wasn't her schooling. Her social standing wasn't the problem. Not knowing the exact way it would happen was part of it. The only thing that set her apart was one sentence. Let it happen to me as you said. That's the requirement, not the skill. It was her choice. Pay attention to me. There's no need for you to figure out how the thing inside you will happen. You don't need a 5-year plan. You do not need to tell it what to call it. Your life has to agree to be the place where Chadash comes in. Right now in your life, you're getting ready for things you can't see. A lot of foundations are being dug down there. You have never experienced anything like it before, and you won't be able to copy it in the future either. But this isn't even the deepest part. There is one more truth waiting below this one. Once it is named, it will destroy every thought you ever had about why you, why now, why your life is set up this way, and how you measure your purpose. Take a moment to breathe with me here. It's not small what you just heard. A lot of messages don't name the things that people are hiding that they hear. It's easier to explain and sell messages that are close to the surface. You're still here after all this depth. After all these insights, after all the slow way I'm giving them to you. That means something. There you have it. Recognition meets its match. Take one deep breath and let what was said sink in. What I'm about to say should be heard straight out without any hidden meanings or me making it hard to understand so I can sell you something later. There is honor in truth. Name what is real before another minute goes by. There's a reason I've been talking to you about how the years have dulled something inside you. How they have silenced the fearless child you used to be, and how tension has been a part of your choices for as long as you can remember. There is a name for what dimmed. There is a name for what kept you from getting what was promised. They're not the same thing. Two different things need to be fixed. The path opens up after the child wakes up. That is the order. The order is important. The first problem, the child's mind beginning to fade, can be fixed by a tool made by a researcher named Dr. Robert Lake. After 34 years of studying the brain, the name of it is the Genius Song. A second tool made by a researcher from Stanford named Dr. Stephen Newton deals with the second issue, which is the stopping of the receiving channel. The wealth signal is the name of it. The first one gets things back and the second one sends them. You can't switch them. They need to go in this order. Receiving comes after restoration. As you watch, many of you have already felt your spirit drawn to what is being said. There's a reason for that pull. The links are in the description below the video and in the comment that was pinned. People who already know the way can use it. If you want to know more, read the rest of this message. If your spirit has already spoken, the links won't change. Let what was just named settle for now and join me as I go with the deeper flow. This isn't just two names for tools. What makes these tools unique for you is the next layer. And that layer changes everything. Take one deep breath. Allow what you just heard to sink deep inside you beyond words. This truth also comes from the same place, but it has been put off the longest. For a long time, you've been asking the wrong thing. Why me has been the question. What's going on with me? How come I have to carry this? What makes my path so different from everyone else's? How come the timeline of my life won't follow any of the ones I was given? Pay attention to me. Why me? Has never been the right question. Why now is the right question. And the answer to why now is the layer that ties together all the other points of view. This message almost didn't get to you because of something. It's not what you believe. It's not a force from outside. Something less loud has been with you since you were little enough to still believe what other people said about you. It's the thought that this doesn't happen to people like you. That's what I want to say again. There's a voice deep inside that has been quietly changing every truth as it comes to you underneath all the spiritual words you've learned and all the affirmations you've said. The voice that says, yes, what he's saying is true, but not for me. Most likely for a better person. Most likely for someone with a better history. Most likely for someone whose life makes them seem like the kind of person who deserves something so rare. That voice has been there for so long that it doesn't sound like someone is trying to get in. Being realistic, humble, and grounded started to sound like what it was. It's not the truth. It's not being humble. It's the last thing that's stopping you from seeing who you really are. I'm going to give you something now, and I want you to take it in as if you were the only one watching, because we are the only ones who matter. You are free to be the one he picked. You are able to see things that your family line couldn't see yet. You can grow past the small restrictions that your past put on your name. You can carry something that no one in your family, among your friends, or in your history has ever done before. You don't have to say sorry for being completely different. Stop trying to make what God is doing through you less important so other people can feel better. Nobody needs to know how you became the person you were always meant to be. Once that voice is named and pushed aside, the answer to why now starts to make sense. Why now isn't because you're finally good enough. For why now? It's not because you fixed enough things, healed enough wounds, prayed long enough, or finally earned enough. The idea that you deserve something is not right. It was never a good idea. God's kingdom doesn't work on who deserves it. The way things are lined up makes it work. Because of why now your life has finally come together in a way that makes sense. The wild kept your gentle spirit safe. The quiet helped you learn how to tell things apart. The waiting made them more precise. There were prayers in your family tree that were answered by people who will never be alive to see them. The places where you've lived, the talks you've had to endure. You didn't get angry about the losses you took, the decisions you made without anyone being there to praise them. Everyone in your life has had all of these things come together in a way that no one else has. Hannah was the first person to carry a prophet whose voice would change a whole country. Mary was the first person to give birth in a small house in a town where no one had ever seen it happen before. Things always go the same way. The act that had never been seen before always needed one life with the right shape to hold it. Not the most powerful life, not the most well-known life, the one who set up worked best for the job. In that line of people, you are the next one. Not because you're just like Hannah, not because you're just like Mary, but because you're ready for what's coming out now. And they were ready for what was coming out then. The main idea stays the same. The main idea is that God uses a one-of-a-kind life to bring about a one-of-a-kind thing. You can't fight this truth by comparing yourself to other people. Because of the way you have things set up, there is no other timeline to compare it to. There was no race you thought you were behind in. You never ran on someone else's track. What's being made in you and what's being let out of you have been waiting for the different parts of your life to come together. This is the part that most people miss. It won't automatically be released. Everyone who has done this kind of work before knows how to do it. Even if they called it something else, putting what's coming up in your mind into words before anyone else can see it is what it means. You should see it for yourself first, then ask everyone else to see it for you. This step is usually skipped. While they wait for someone else to confirm what they're feeling, it never comes in the way they thought it would. For years, they feel like no one sees them and think that means they weren't chosen. They were picked. They failed to show up for the first practice that was planned. This is the practice. I'll slowly give it to you. This is very important because it could mean the difference between a purpose being found and one being kept secret for another 10 years. Before you check your phone, talk to anyone, or let the day's noise tell you what you're worth, write one sentence every morning alone. 7 words only. Not any more, not less. It has to say what God is doing through you, not what you need, not the thing you're scared of, what is coming together. You can't hide behind explanations when the word count is 7. It's big enough to hold the truth. Most people don't like the second part of the practice because it goes against how we live now. You say the sentence out loud after writing it down once, one time only. And when you say it, nothing happens. Not to your partner, not to your best friend. No, not in the comments. Not in a journal where you think people will find it in the future. Just into the room where you are and the silence. This is the reason. When words are spoken to confirm something, they lose their power to make something happen, they are put on as shows. You have to defend them. You have to be in God's presence and in the silence where your ego has nothing to gain before you can hear the word that is shaping you. After that, it's really yours. Things to remember are in the third part. 21 days. Every morning a new sentence or the same sentence again if it hasn't done its job yet. The seventh sentence is read in its proper order after 21 days. The shape of your purpose is the pattern that has grown over the last 21 days. It will be easy to see. It won't be a question. It won't be what you thought on the first day. This is how things are done. 7 words, 21 days, only spoke into the void. I am going to tell you about a woman whose name I will not give out because I care more about her privacy than proving it. She was 47 years old. She was an IT manager in a city she didn't want to be in. She moved there for a job and the job and her life stayed with her. Somewhere along the way, the need to pay her mortgage buried the question of what she was really meant to do with her life. For 9 years, she had been saying the same prayer in her head. The prayer wasn't to get better. It wasn't for a relationship, for a reason she couldn't put her finger on, but could feel every time she sat down at her kitchen table at the end of the day. 6 years ago, she wrote in a notebook something she had never shared or even read again by herself. It was a sentence about what she thought she was meant to build. The notepad was closed after she wrote it once, and it had been in a drawer ever since. Someone she didn't know very well called her last month. Someone was calling for a small group in a different state. The person said that they had been looking for someone with a certain set of skills, intuition, and life experience to lead the project they were starting. They said what they were trying to find. It was almost an exact copy of a sentence she had written 6 years before in a notebook that no one had ever read. From that day on, she didn't believe in coincidences. The call came because her resume had been received by a place that didn't need to read it out loud to know it had been written. She had been writing it in private in silence in a hidden notebook. In the secret notebook was her resume which she had no idea she was sending. This is what's going on inside you at the moment. Witnessing is more than just a way to get things done. These calls are set up so that your spiritual realm can understand your purpose. But the most important part of this, the part that changes how you see the witnessing, the wilderness, your unique situation, the unheard of act, and everything else hasn't been said yet. What I'm about to say is the truth that all 3 of these insights have been carrying. That's when you'll never look at your life the same way again. Follow me. Take 1 deep breath. Let 1 breath settle into the quiet space below your thoughts. No matter where you are, sitting, lying down, or driving, I'm about to say the truth that all 3 insights have been carrying. Like how 3 notes make a single chord that you can only hear when they all play together. The first insight told you that your delay was due to accuracy. The second insight told me that what you are creating is Chad Ash, which means it is new from the start and not just a better version of what was. The third thought said, why now? Because your life has come together in a way that no other life has ever done. Listen to them all at once and then listen to what they've been getting at the whole time. God has never done this before because there has never been a person like you. No one in your generation under any of the names you learned about in history or in any other age, era, or time has ever done that. He has been holding back what he is doing right now because it needs your spirit, your kindness, your timing, and your loyalty that you can't see. Only you have these qualities. Listen to it in a new way. You are not picked to do something that can't be done. You make it possible for the impossible to happen. In the same breath, hear what the Father is saying to you. I have never done this before because there has never been you before. You weren't to blame for having to wait. The waiting was what I did exactly. The years that you thought were long were short to me. The door is now ready to be opened. Dear child, this is dawn. The first light to ever reach this exact point. There has never been a dawn that looks like the one that is coming up through you. And there never will be. The angle of the light has been picked out. The light has been set to that angle. They have been waiting for each other since the beginning of time before there was a word for it. Because you are the first person to go into a new area. No one else has gone there before you. These people will have a path to follow. That's what you are. You're the bridge. Your life's work brings together things that couldn't be brought together in any other way. It carries things that couldn't be carried in any other way. That's what you are. You are the one who breaks the cycle. Your action breaks a pattern that has been passed down through generations and no one else had the power to do so. That's what you are. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our COEF community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Come with me. This needs to be said in the clearest way possible so that you fully understand what I'm about to say. What was said this hour, God is able to do impossible things because of how your life is set up. Your weight was accuracy. What's coming together is brand new. And your years have put together to make a vessel that has never been seen before. That's the why. Here's what you need to make what's coming together really show up through you. You used to have two parts of your brain that worked on certain brainwave patterns. Now that you are an adult, the normal stresses of life have slowly quieted these down. The child's mind is the first part. You were born with a brainwave pattern that makes you curious, open, and easy to get along with others. Since you were 7 years old, this pattern has been slowly fading. The second part is the manifestation channel. This is the pattern of brain waves that makes it possible for what you're being given to show up in your life as something you can hold. Survival anxiety, which is a constant low hum that adult life makes you feel, has blocked that second one. Both parts need to be fixed. The first one came first, then the second one. The order is important. On the other side of this fix is the version of you whose childlike mind is awake, whose reception is open, and whose unique setup is fully active. This is the version of you that can handle what's being released without being too much because the channel is finally clear enough to hold it. That's where we are. That's what we need. That person is waiting on the other end of this fix. What I'm about to tell you was made by two researchers in two different places, working in two different decades and in two different labs. They both came to different conclusions that turned out to be parts of the same repair sequence. Both of your brain wave patterns were fully active when you were born. Each child is. That's exactly what childhood is biologically, a time when the brain makes a lot of gamma waves which adults rarely do, and it also stays in an alpha state that lets the child take things in without thinking too much about them. Both curiosity and reception are fully working. You used to be a child of light like that. A process known as the decline effect starts around age 7. Gamma brain waves become less strong over time because of things like modern schooling, stress, and social pressures. Most adults have shut down the childish mind they were born with by the time they are in their 30s. You'll have seen that getting to wonder used to be easy, but now you need a vacation. How often new ideas used to come up and how rarely they do now. Things that used to take days to learn now take months. That's not just old age. That's the effect of decline. An American brain scientist named Dr. Robert Lake did 34 years of research at MIT, Princeton, Harvard, and other top universities. He then created a tool that reverses the decline effect through brain training. This tool is a special audio that restores gamma brain waves in a 7-minute session. It's known as the Genius Song. The digital track is 7 minutes long and is listened to through headphones once a day. There isn't anything to do or remember. The sound does the job. The mind of a child that was shut down starts to wake up. The openness, curiosity, and reception you had before you learned to doubt yourself beginning to return. I need you to hear something true. A stronger and more powerful version of the same technology will be found by some of you after you get the Genius Song. It's called the youthful brain, and many chosen ones who go deeper on this path use it to keep the child's mind safe and strong after it has been healed. Once you get the real one, you'll see it. If your spirit tells you to do what it says, in that case, the original is complete on its own. Don't think too much about this. A teacher once said, "Those who become like little children will enter the kingdom of heaven." A lot of people didn't realize he was talking about brain waves. The first problem is fixed by the Genius Song, which brings back gamma and wakes up the child's mind that has been slowly dying since you were 7. But getting in touch with your inner child is only the beginning of fixing things. One step is not enough. There is another one that must come after it. This is true. When a child's mind is awake, wonder, curiosity, and openness come back. A lot of people go through this and think that everything is okay. It's not. Even though the child wakes up, the way for them to get what was promised is still blocked. The stress signal has taken over the second part. According to researchers, adult survival mode makes low-level beta brain wave activity happen all the time. The worry about money that you have all the time, even when you're not thinking about it yourself. The tight feeling in your chest that wakes you up before you even open your eyes. Trying to get what's yours but never quite managing it. A second researcher, Stephen Newton, started out at Stanford as a brain scientist and then left to publish work that wasn't widely known for a long time. His research took him to places like Stanford, Boston University, Harvard, and more. He found out how the stress signal works. Too much beta brainwave activity in modern adults blocks the alpha state and blocks the receiving channel that lets what's being given actually come into your life as something you can hold. The wealth signal is the name of the tool he made. It also has a 5-minute digital audio track with a phrase from 300 years of Hindu tradition called the 9-word wealth script that gets around what researchers call brain stiffness at the frontal thalamus. The sound takes your brain back from beta to alpha, and during the session you keep hearing the script. The kid is awake now. She can finally get what she wants. Thanks to the wealth signal, the kingdom moves like a child getting a gift from her daddy. She doesn't have to work for it. She doesn't have to think about it. And she knows it was meant for her. There is also a longer, stronger version of the wealth signal that some people use after they get it. It opens the receiving channel a lot faster than the first one. It's called the Wealth Signal Accelerator. It will be shown to you after you get the original if your spirit tells you to do it. If not, the first one is fine. Don't think too much about this. It is possible for a small group of chosen people to go deeper into this restoration process. For these people, both stronger versions are used together, the Wealth Signal Accelerator and the youthful brain. Most of the time, the deepest travelers find this path after getting the originals, but only if their spirit calls them to that depth. The originals are all that's needed. The combined amplification is for people who need to go even farther on their path. I want to talk about something I know some of you are thinking right now. I've done all of this before. The Course in Manifestation, the retreat, the book, the healing method, and the meditation, it didn't last at all. What makes this different? Please hear this. Before, everything you did required your brain to change from the inside out. That takes too long. That is wearing. Most people can't keep up with that. The way these two tools work is different from what they do. They change brain waves from the outside by sending sound waves that the brain passively receives. You don't have to change the way your brain works. The sound gets the brain in the right frame of mind. There's one more difference. Each tool you've used so far has focused on a different brain wave. Like alpha, relaxation, or visualization. None of them went after both gamma and alpha at the same time or in the right order. This order, restoration first, reception second, is the missing piece that no other method has addressed. For those of you who think this is too good to be true, it's true. Brain scans can show that you've trained your brain. At MIT and Princeton, gamma reactivation has been shown to be true. Maps of alpha restoration have been made at Boston University and Stanford. Almost 38,000 chosen ones have been through this restoration in total, spanning both stages. Not even 5% ask for their money back. The data behind the numbers is what proves them, not the numbers themselves. It's not a question of whether to believe it or not. You need to decide if you are ready to see what is real. If you're worried about how much it will cost, I would never treat your money badly. Everyone has a different path. Some people will only need to do the first step. Some people are already where the second step fits best. Most people will know that both are for them, and I'll explain why in a moment. Within 90 days, you can return any path without any questions asked. The extra gifts are still yours no matter what. It's not risky to try. The risk is that another year will go by while both brainwave patterns stay inactive. Now, for the question I know is most important to some of you. Why two goods? Why not one? Pay close attention. The genius song is aimed at gamma. Alpha is what the wealth signal is after. They have two different brainwave patterns, which means they need to be fixed in two different ways. Since you were 7 years old, the child in you has been fading away. The wealth signal by itself won't be able to reach that child because the child's mind hasn't woken up yet to want it. It will only take the genius song to wake the child up. The way she gets what is hers will still be closed. Restoration comes first, then reception. So that's the two-step process. The child's mind reversal based on sequence. You must become like little children to receive the kingdom. A teacher once told the class. Not many people realized he was talking about a series of brain waves. First the child, then the receptionist. You can see 3 doors ahead of you. I'm going to name all 3 because they are all respected. If you feel like your child's mind has been quiet for too long, the first path is restoration. This is where you should start. Just the Genius song for 7 minutes every day. The first step in restoration, a traditional place to start. Real work, a real start. Receive is the second path. I'm going to be honest, this is a rare path. It's for people whose child's mind is already active. Maybe because they have a deep spiritual practice that keeps it alive, but they can't get to what is theirs. 5 minutes a day just to listen to the wealth signal. The channel being opened. A small group of those who have been chosen know that this is their path. The third path is full restoration, which is the 2-step process of the Genius song and the wealth signal in the right order. Channel opens when child wakes up. It's time for the kingdom that has been waiting to come in. Our chosen ones usually know that this is the best way to handle their situation. Both layers are asleep. Both layers need to be fixed. And when they are, they become stronger. Restoration and reception are like adding coins. They add up to more than one. Getting a child's mind awake without turning on the TV is half the battle. A channel that is opened before a child's mind is awakened is like a door that doesn't lead anywhere. The whole journey is the path that most people know is theirs. If the price shows up, it will be shown on the page below. If the page shows prices, the first 2 paths open at prices that are unique to the visitor. The whole journey is available at full price because it's not a bundle deal. It's the whole journey of restoration at its best. If the page doesn't show any prices, 3 doors will just open. That one will be clear to your spirit. Every day you wait is another day that the child's mind fades and the stress signal blocks the receiving channel. Both get worse, which makes you forget more. And the version of you that is on the other side of this restoration, the one that is uniquely set up, awake and ready to do something that has never been done before. That version looks back on this moment as the turning point. When the first light crosses the angle, it's not a sales choice. It's a recognition choice. Before you do any of this, you need to know something important. Though some websites and audio products bear the names of these real tools, they are not the real deal. They don't have any of the brain training technology, brainwave adjustments, or original research. You can only get the real Genius song and the real wealth signal through the links below this video, in the description, and in the pinned comment. They come with technology that is backed by research and a 90-day money-back guarantee. Do not look for these on sites that stream videos. Do not look for them on shopping websites. They're not the real ones. The only real way is through the links below. This is what I want. Stop right now. Take a deep breath. If it's safe to do so, put your hand on your chest for a short time or close your eyes for 2 seconds. This choice has nothing to do with money. This isn't the time to market something. This is a thank you. There are 3 open doors. Reception, restoration, and full restoration. We honor all 3. They are all right. The one that fits your life perfectly is already known by your spirit. You can find the links below in the description and in the comment that was pinned. When your spirit tells you to step into the one that calls you, what was said before doesn't end here. It starts here. These last few words aren't meant to sell anything. They're meant to make it last. Take a deep breath with me. You don't have to fully understand what was just said. You already have it inside you. The part of you that has been waiting for longer than you can remember has already heard every word of this hour. Part of that doesn't need to think about it. It only needs to learn to accept this. When you fully understand a big truth, there is a lot of peace. Let the peace and quiet do its thing. The lesson is over. The sale is over. What's left isn't for the mind. Now we have to look for the place deep inside our minds where the decisions that shape our whole lives are really made. When you came here at this time, you were carrying a specific load. Not just any load. The one-of-a-kind mix of years that haven't been seen, questions that haven't been asked, and a self that is patiently waiting to be recognized as the one being used for the unprecedented act. You brought that in with you. You're not leaving as the person who came in. The message doesn't end here. It's the start of you living it. Now, I want to do something with you. It's not just an idea or a check. Something that I want you to do right now where you are. I want you to picture a doorway in your mind. Do not say it out loud or move your body. If you are driving or lying down, you've never been through that door before. If you walk in a certain way, it will open a door. It's what has a pattern that fits your life. A thin line of dawn light, pale gold, is just barely visible below it. The kind of light that shows up before anyone can name what's going on. The door doesn't need to be opened yet. You just need to picture yourself in front of it. Look at how tall it is. Take a moment to think about how it feels to have finally reached it. There is no one else standing here. No one else can go through this door for you. This activation isn't normal. This is a ceremony to honor someone. Put your hand on the wood in your mind now. Only your hand. Feel the readiness sink into the core of your choice. Not your bones, but the most important part of your choice. The part of you where the real decisions that make your life happen. Feel the ability to be ready. Settle in. Now is not the time to open the door. You only need to know that it's yours, that it was made just for you, and that it won't take any force to open it when you're ready in your own time and at the pace that your spirit feels right. You thought you were waiting for nothing, but the years have smoothed out the hinges. Take one more deep breath at the door. Take in what it tells you. Now slowly fade the picture so that only the recognition is left. The picture is gone. The recognition will last forever. I'd like to thank everyone for what they've said and what they've heard this hour. For the years that were called delay, but were really speed. Thank you for the exact timing of what seemed like waiting. For the kind spirit that lived on. Thank you for the part of you that didn't harden, even though it would have been easier to do so. For the quiet prayers, the unspoken love, and the way that one life finally came together at the right time. Give thanks for what you saw and the one who saw it all. In honor of the teachers from the past whose stories were preserved in stone so that you can find your own in theirs today. For Hannah, whose womb taught her to be precise. For Mary, whose promise changed a part of history. Thank you to the line of people who carried things that had never been seen before. For the breath you're taking now. For the room around you. It's more holy than it seems. Please say thank you. Before the declaration is made, there is something to let go of. You have a small frame around your name that your past put there. You didn't choose when it came from. You could want certain things and ask for certain things. It told you how big your life could be. You didn't own that frame. It was from the place where you were when that frame was made. That spot is no longer there. You don't own the frame. Let it go now. You don't need to counter it. You don't have to forgive everyone who put something there. Just put it down. Give it up. Let it go from your back. Let it go from the things you say about yourself when no one is watching. Let it depend on how much you let yourself get. Stop saying sorry for taking up space. You don't own it. You don't have to take it any further than now. That which is yours is what you are about to say. Take it slowly, one line at a time. Before the next one is said, let each one sink in. The hour I was made for is given to me without any thanks. I accept the unique way my life is set up as correct, as planned, and as sufficient. I let the unimaginable thing grow inside me without shrinking it to make other people feel better. The purpose of each day is given to me with all of its gentleness and weight. I am told that I am the reason why the impossible can finally come true. Not because they are proud, but because they agree with what is true. Now I want you to stay with me in the quiet. Not just now, but for a while longer. Long enough so that what has been said can settle down to the point where agreements are permanent. Do not move. Do not talk. Just take a deep breath. Listen to what the Father is saying during the period of silence. You are a child from a line of people who carry unimaginable things. What has been formed in you is mine. What's being let out through you is mine. It was waiting for how exact I am. It's now time. Don't look back at the small frame as you walk forward. The door is open, so it's sealed. What was said can't be taken back. That's right. What has been received can't be taken back. That's right. What has been acknowledged can't be taken away. That's right. The dawn that is coming up and you didn't wait for anyone else. It was always going to be your light that was the first to cross this angle. This is the first dawn that looks like this, and there will never be another one like it. I need you to do one small thing before you leave this state of stillness, because the things that have been said today aren't just for you and your screen. To leave a comment, just type, I am the reason. Just 3 words, not to show off, but to make a deal. People who have been chosen read those 3 words below this video more often, making it stronger. You are signing a quiet record that you heard and understood what was said tonight. If something in this hour made you feel like your spirit already knew, please click like. It's not for the internet. As a way of saying thanks for getting what was shared with you to the right place. I will only invite you here if you haven't already signed up for this space. People who don't follow the same path as everyone else will enjoy the work that will be released here. That sounds like you. Subscribe button will keep you in touch with the next message as it comes in. You already know who that one person is. They're somewhere in your life. Like you, they've been waiting quietly for someone to see what they've been carrying. Send them this message. They shouldn't change their minds to be there for them. They'll understand why you sent it. The doors I talked about earlier, the 3 paths of restoration, can be found below this video in the description and in the message that has been pinned. People whose path starts with awakening the child in them will hear the genius song. People whose path begins with opening the channel will hear the wealth signal. And people whose unique situation recognizes that both paths belong to them will hear the complete restoration. When your spirit tells you to step into the one who calls you, there's no need to hurry. When you're ready, the doors will be open. What was given to you this hour is yours now and forever. It is yours and no one else can take it. You can't change your mind. The thanks have been given. Be gentle. Step slowly into the rest of the day, the rest of the night, or the rest of the time when this voice stops. The dawn that is coming up and you didn't wait for anyone else. You're the reason. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit Community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel, your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart. And as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now. Join the family and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.